Going live, and we're live.
Hi,
hello.
Welcome to the StockinetteZombies. I'm Amy, also known as Janitma.
And I'm Megan, also known as Just Run It, and this is episode 337. And we've got all kinds of people joining us live today. We've got
my goodness.
Sandy and Lynn and Valerie and Pat and
Hello,
Claire and Julie. Yes. Happy Wednesday, everyone.
I almost wish I could flip my screen. It just started raining like crazy out my window.
It was raining here earlier, and I was hearing thunder and lightning. And now it's stopped. So clear skies here. It must have
moved
headed
north.
Yeah,
just a little bit.
There's a Nikki and a Sarah and a Susan as well.
Oh my goodness.
We just got a crew. Wednesday must be our day.
I don't know. I'm getting nervous now. I got an audience.
All right, so we decided to make this all of the things because we had just recently done favorite things, and this was tips and tricks, but I think there'll be some tips and tricks mixed in as well. You had a favorite thing that you announced this week that I'm so excited about. Oh, turn your camera off.
I think I accidentally selected a different one. There we go. Whoops.
There you
are. Technical difficulties. I'm so sorry. I was trying to make it so it didn't make me look like a ghost. I'm like so washed out. But yes, absolutely. So excited. Our keynote speaker is all set and ready to join us, Sandy Peters.
Yay! I had the pleasure of meeting them at Rhinebeck. So they were walking around with Molly Girl Yarns, Angela, and I guess Angela was like, you have to go talk to her. She's the other one. Like Amy's at home and the other one is her. So it was fabulous. We were looking at their fingernails and chatting with Miss Queen Julie.
Oh yeah, they had like raised like knitting on the fingernails.
It was super cool. It was super cool. So yeah, no, I'm so excited. Absolutely love their patterns. Fox paws like blows up my brain. I still need to knit it.
Yeah, I'm knitting the puddle jumping, and that one is also kind of mind-blowing. Stack stitches are very new to me, so I feel like mine are a little loosey-goosey and they're not quite as professional as they could be. But the pattern is really interesting because it's designed for self-striping yarn. And so the way that, instead of using multiple colors like you would in fox paws, you just get to use one skein, and it just kind of magically does the stuff as you're knitting.
Cool.
But that's a cowl, and I'm slowly working on it. It's funny because of the stacked stitches, 4 rows, just like, it's a lot because of the way that it makes it vertical in there. Only 4 rows, and you've got like, a good 1.5 inches of knitting.
Because you're doing similar things in each of the spot, right?
Yep. So your stacked stitches, they're 4, but then like when they I don't know, when the magic happens and they're vertical,
yes,
it gets nice and wide. But yeah, I've been knitting on that in secret. Well, not secret really, but I mean, I hadn't really thought about it, and then I was like, oh, now that Sandy is coming, I'm going to start sharing my puddle jumping that I am working
on. Well, you understood the connection, but nobody else would have.
Okay. That's true.
Right. You could have been not publicly, you could have publicly shared it, not privately, and nobody would have understood until you made the announcement. But our brains would have made the connection.
Right. But well, and there's also just that little bit of like, oh, maybe I can save something for me. Anyway.
Yeah. Yeah. Other administrative. Yes, I'm very excited. Other administrati, we have the knitting with Disney on Sunday, which is super fun. I want to encourage anyone that is, we may at the end do a little show and share of if you have a Disney outfit, or if you want to dress up like your favorite Disney character, there may or may not be prizes involved. So.
Yeah, I had gotten a Tinkerbell costume for Lou when she was a wee bae, and I'm just like, I kept it. So it's like, oh, that would be really cute, but I would have to dig out pictures because the outfit by itself does not do the awe justice. But yeah, I'm trying to think if I have any Disney like ears or I wonder. I have lots of stuffed animals and things like that that are Disney.
We could bring them as like an entourage.
That's true. Just have them behind me. Yeah.
Yes.
All right. Putting my thinking cap on. Sounds like a fun
Valerie's asking whether or not Pivot could wear the Tinkerbell costume.
She is getting a little rounder. It might actually fit her. The cat is looking very round.
Preparing for the winter months.
Yes.
Those hard winter months.
That's what we like to tell ourselves.
Yeah. All right. Well, I saw a lot of fabulous people. One of them at Rhinebeck, one of them was, I think that's your pickle yarn. So I got to see Cece yes. And I did end up, I don't know if I'll be able to pull it out here or not, to get, I got the Rhinebeck. So no, you guys aren't allowed to judge me, but this was definitely my, like, I generally don't buy a lot, or I buy a lot. And this was like, I think a record setting Rhinebeck for me.
Okay.
My husband is in the other room eating and probably, but I had a hard time fitting it into my luggage.
Oh my goodness.
I had a lot of fun at the, it was like 2 years worth of pent up fabulousness. So
I'm trying to think of the purchasing that I did while you guys were away.
Yeah.
I think I can come up with a few of them as you reveal yours.
Okay, I got a couple of goodies for you. Do you want me to reveal that here, or do you want to be surprised?
Oh, you can reveal it. That might motivate me to drive to your house.
I thought this was
things that
so we went
to do together, and
Perfect Blend yarn shop in Saugerties, New York. Fabulous. Would have been one of my top picks for an LYS if we could transplant her here. Absolutely love them. They were hosting a pop-up with Emma's Yarn. Also had Lisa Paper Daisy there, and just had a bunch of fabulousness. But they do tea and coffee, and so I brought this home. It on the plane, it sucked in. It's like freeze dried. Really tight now. Was a much more aesthetically pleasing bag before, but I've never seen this knit coffee before, and I thought it'd be funny to bring it home to Jeremy. And it's a knitter's blend, Italian roast. The tagline said, like fuzzy hand knit mittens, your favorite bulky sweater, or that very special skein of hand dyed yarn you've been holding on to. The comfort we find in a cup of beautifully crafted coffee cannot be described. It must be experienced.
Ooh.
So I'll let you know once we actually drink it. One of the owners mentioned that she loves it. So I was like, okay, that's good enough for me.
You're reminding me that my coffee's off camera here.
Oh no. Another item that I got there was from the Knitting Barber. And they have try it on tubing. It isn't like the previous iteration. So I know in our thread, we had a couple people talking about the leather one, and it was really hard to slip the stitches on. I remember previous iterations, it kind of being very gauge specific, it was like basically aquarium tubing, and you had to get the right diameter of aquarium tubing to needle, whatever. And these are very thin tubes. So I obviously got green. And this is the one for the main body. and I've been knitting and have it for my sleeves to set aside on the sleeves. So there's two for sleeves and one for the main body.
In
and
the container?
Yes.
Oh, okay. Yep. And so these are the ones that Steve and Andy were selling on their store, right?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
I find it very easy to slip the stitches onto the needle. So it's basically, I think it was like up to, I don't know, I can't remember if it was like up to 9s or whatever.
Okay.
But you just attach it to the end there and it expands, right? So you can see the difference in, and it's very sticky, like it's not going to fall off. I did try this sweater on with this, and I could see maybe that end getting a little stretched out over time, but then I think you could just cut it.
And true.
Create a new join point.
Yeah.
So yeah, I've really loved them, and I think they're gonna end up in. So there, I just slipped all of it onto my working needle for the pockets. Cool. Yeah, and I got you a set. So you've got some knitting barber. It's somewhere in here. I don't. I'll find it when it's time to give it to you.
Okay, awesome. Yeah, I have a sweater that I would love to use those on right now.
Oh, okay. So we need to meet up.
Yeah, it's down here.
Indie Untangled was a ton. Oh, fun. I got to see, but did not get. Oh, so you do need them. Yeah.
Yeah, because see, this is on spare cords, and I'm kind of knitting all 3 points at the same time to get the maximization out of the yarn. Because this was written for a crop, or the kit was bought for a crop sweater where I'd have tons of leftovers. And I was like, no, I want to use all of it. So I am trying really hard. And yeah, I would totally put this on so that I could try it on and make sure that everything was the right length before I stopped. I am excited.
Excellent. Yeah, I'll find it in here eventually. Stopped and saw Janice. This was their show colorway. It's Fall Y'all. And this is going to be a pair of DK socks. I think I may try to find a coordinating color and do heels and toes and cuff. I think with my size, I don't need more than the skein, but I kind of like the look of a coordinating. Also at Indie Untangled, I went to 29 Bridges. Let's see, I've got quite a few. Okay. So I bought enough that I got there.
I don't have any of their yarn.
Yes. Yeah, no, it's super fun. Super fun. I was thinking I was going to make a broadleaf, but I think which is that brioche motif from Wool and Pine on the front, where there's a mohair and then there's a solid. So I was thinking that this is patina, it's the mohair, and then this is amber is the go-to sock. And I was thinking that I would do something, but at the quantity that I bought, I just needed the contrasting color, but then that would mean that these two are held together and I wanted them to contrast. So I'm thinking that I might do like an Elton or something where this is just by itself and this is contrasting it. I am planning on using the ZKN Crafty Planner to kind of tie the things because everything came with, I bought everything with a specific purpose in mind, which really is, I think, what enabled the mass buying. So, and then this color Urban I just kept on picking it up. It needs to be a pair of socks or something. But yeah, they were new to me and I super loved them.
Yeah, that color, your amber color has just been like every time I look around, ooh, it's blue.
You got blue.
Yeah, every time I see that color, I have a hard time not buying it. I have so many different dyers of that color. Huh?
Yeah. It's very autumnal. Sorry. I think we're having a little bit of lag and I wanted to pre-apologize because last week when I watched the playback, it seemed like you were trying to interject and I didn't notice it in real time. It was only on the playback that I noticed that you were like, and I was like, I'm sorry, I just kept talking. So we are having a little lag, but
yeah. No, just love that color. And I know that like my stash is full of it. I know I have some Suburban Stitcher of that color. I know I have
this
some.
This was a little divergent for me.
Yes, it's very divergent for you. Yeah.
Yeah. The patina is really, and it going so well with the patina is what really sold it for me. So yes, beautiful, beautiful. Next to them was Wool and Nosh, which Woolens and Nosh, which are super cute. I actually pre-ordered their. It turns out they would have had some, but this is their cornucopia. So this was a pre-order, and I got you a skein of it as well.
And this is the self-stripers?
Yes, it's a self-striper. And it's targy nylon. So it's a fun base. And I'm trying to remember how many stripes it is, but it's very,
looks like a lot of them.
Very autumnal colors mixed with that plum in between.
Well, show me my color.
This is yours. Yeah.
Oh, it's the same color?
Yes. Yep.
Oh, they look different on the camera.
This one's more purpley. It feels like what's presenting. So it's probably just how it was skeined up. But
Gotcha.
The same one. And then Nikki, I ran into Nikki Noni Baloney before I was there, and she pulled out this skein of self-striping that is, can you guess what the inspiration is? It's food related.
Pistachio?
Sushi.
Oh, okay. Yes. Now I see it.
Yeah. With the black, and then there's a little bit of the wasabi and the seaweed wrap, and
Nice.
Super fun. Super fun. They were like shooting fish in a barrel there because I think they were the only self-striping. So, and again, I really love this targi base. Super, super fun. Super fun. So, and then I'm
trying to figure out how to not look like a ghost.
Okay, you do that while I'm looking. Also super fun there was at Haynes' house. I walked in, it's a whole family that that is involved, and Brian, the dad / husband, was like, you knit yourself a whole brioche sweater. And I was like, yes, I did. And from there, it was just fabulous conversation, banter back and forth. He knits. I was super impressed that he knew that it was brioche, right? Like my husband wouldn't know what brioche was, but turns out he's a knitter. He said that he's
soon,
HR.
A spinner.
Yes.
He was looking at e-spinners while at Rhinebeck area, and I saw that and I was like, ooh, Hayes House is gonna make some roving soon.
Yeah. So super fun. They were fabulous. I ended up picking up Don't Explain the Rules to Me, which is very my colors, and then a coordinating Last to Fall. And this is on they've got a story behind all the colorways on the label, which is super fun. Brian loves tennis, but Terry cannot grasp the rules. When Brian tries to explain them to her again, Terry will tell him not to and just tell her who is winning. Don't explain the rules to me. But this is on their bare feet sock base, which again, like I walked up, I had 2 skeins. I'm like, I think I'm going to work on these together. And I had grabbed one that was, I think it was this one that wasn't the same base. And they pointed it out to me. Like, again, I would have been here talking about it on the podcast and gone like, or you would have looked at it because you noticed those things and you would have been like, these are on different bases, Meg. But they checked at the checkout and were like, I don't know. They were just fabulous. Love them. This green is coming across as we know, very green. And it's not.
If I recall, my stash of their yarn is a Polworth sock base, which very super fun cool.
As well. Yes.
Might be a heavy fingering or sport weight. I'm just trying to remember. I know exactly where it is, but it's in the other room.
Yeah, I'm thinking that might be a rocket tee.
Very cool.
Because again, I was all about, other than the self-striping and sock skeins, I was all about coming forth with something. This whole new knit and caboodle was from the Perfect Blend as well. It's the owner's sister.
Okay.
who dyes it up. They sent us some skeins a while back. I thought this coordinated really well with this when I was thinking of that's the wrong one. Where did the mohair go? So I thought it coordinated really well with this. So I could probably do that broadleaf and hold it.
Yeah,
with
I can
this.
see the silver popping out of that mohair a lot more when you're holding them together like that. Yeah, very pretty.
Yeah. So yep, that's this whole knit and caboodle. 500 or 450 yards, 88% merino, 12% nylon, which is also a very interesting base.
Yeah, that's a different base. Yeah.
So, immediately enabled by that. Walked in. I don't think I've got anything more from India Untangled. Maybe I'll find it. Well, walked in, immediately bought what is likely going to be at least 2 sweaters from Feederbrook Farm. So I knit my Sparky out of this. This is their BFL. I think it's a nice alternative to like the spin cycle. And there was a lot of this marl type of yarn. So like, why can't I think of the name of it? Neighborhood Fiber Co. had a marl like spin cycle alternative. And I think not Briar Rose, the other one, it's got, why can't I think of the name? I can see the booth. Yeah, maybe somebody in. Anyway, there was a lot of this type of yarn. This was super fun. I love the BFL base. And then I thought this fuchsia really popped. I didn't know what exactly I was going to do with it. So I just ended up getting, 4 skeins of both, as you do.
As you do.
As I do. But yes, absolutely love Feederbrook Farm. She was having, I'm going to tell the side story. Sorry, you're like, Megan, you're talking too much. But she was having trouble with getting phone coverage in the barn. And so she wrote down my credit card number, my phone number, and whatever, and ended up having to call me. And so I got to call her back and kind of confirm my credit card number. And she got to talking to me about the farm and how her son is helping her with skeins. And it was just very delightful. It feels good to have supported Feederbrook Farm in this way.
Yeah. And now you have her phone number.
Yes. I can call her up. I think it's also on the maybe it's just on the website. I was thinking it was on the skein as well. But yeah, super reasonably priced BFL, and love the jewel tone colors. So this was the Rhinebeck, We Miss You. So she repeated it again this year because, we did all miss it. And I picked out one that was very orange and pink. So a little less red. Yarn Baby. Got a picture with a pickle Yarn Baby and Miss Cece, which was fabulous. And
which base Yarn Baby?
This is the fingering.
Okay.
So 1120 yards superwash merino, 8 ounces.
Very nice.
I'm thinking, I can't remember the name. It's a leaf motif. I think it might be like falling leaves or something like that is the name of it. I'll post it in our Discord thread with the yarn planner. Once I'll put a picture, because I really want to knit the things that I bought these things for.
Okay.
So I want to keep track of it before it leaves my brain.
Yeah, I keep thinking I need to, I haven't bought a tablet for myself in a very long time. And I keep thinking I need to have a tablet just so that patterns are bigger, like I can do them on my phone. And I have this computer, which is really big, but it's cumbersome. I don't know.
Yeah. I lied about India Untangled and the Perfect Blend. I bought their they had an enamel pin for the Perfect Blend Yarn Shop PBYS. Super cute. Kind of looks like you're looking into the cup. And then I also went to Lavender Loom. That was my first stop. Her new base, the Sabino base. I'm going to do an even fall. I believe it's the Andrea Mowry yoke slip stitch motif with it. And so this will be the main color that's throughout. This is the more frequent color. And then this is the pop every now and then with the purple, blue, and green. I happened to be wearing at Indie Untangled, I was wearing that brioche sweater that I've not gotten to talk about here yet because it's a finished object that I just finished up on my newspaper, but it had all of these colors. I was walking around with a clear bag and everybody's like, those aren't your colors at all. No, not at all. Not at all. So, yeah. And again, this is coming off a lot more green. Very pretty, but it's a more muted, more muted green.
Yeah, I've seen that color in person.
Yeah, Laughing Buddha is very fun.
I was just thinking about my Jill Draper yarn that's still in my stash, and one of them is it's a blue and a green, and I keep thinking that I need to make something, but every time I think about making something, I think it's not me, it's you. It's like, these aren't my colors, these are Megan's colors. Like, I need to separate.
Always good to have a signature color. Yeah. My November use it or lose it is some Briar Rose, not Primrose. Primrose is the one that also had the marl. There it came. Just had to have a little bit of brain churning in the background. It's a nice green marl. If I had been smart, I'd grabbed it. I already took it out of the stash. I'm like, this is going to be my November use it or lose it. And then Annie Lupton, boho knitter chick, has a new pattern all over color work or sport that I'm going to use that with this. So this is Utopia.
Oh, yep, Utopia.
And they have a really pretty depth of color in all of their colorways. This is the Electric Blues.
Utopia comes to Minnesota, right? For yarn over?
Yeah, I think they're out of Wisconsin.
Okay.
Viroqua, Wisconsin. But this is fine wool from Midwestern sheep, so it's not like a merino. This is their Ridge Sport. And I think this will be a really nice pop against that kind of green that'll change colors. There'll be no overlap between this and it, and it's very geometric. So I think it'll be able to handle the crazy of that coordinating. But yeah, same kind of saturated color palette. And then I also fell in love. I've always loved their basil colorway, and I really enjoyed this one, Fur, as well. They were kind of picked over by the time I got there. This is their silken mohair. They had just 100% mohair. You got twice the yardage, and it was basically the same price, but it just didn't have that next to skin feel.
Gotcha.
On it. So you got like 700 yards in a single skein, but it was like not as soft. And I'm like, nah, I'm going to go with the merino silk, something with mohair where it's going to be either held with something and striped, or the mohair it's by itself, and I'll be alternating colors. But I really enjoyed those and those together. And at that point, I was starting to come to grips with the fact that I had too much. I had bought too much. But on Sunday, which was like Saturday was pretty chill, Sunday was super chill. I came across this Yarn Hug, yarnhug.com, or Huga, depending on how you want to pronounce it. They have a BFL base. Everything there is like some sort of dream state where you're like, that can't be what they're actually charging. This is like my dream.
Yeah.
So this is BFL fingering, 4.4 ounces, 414 yards, Mystic colorway, $19 a skein. I was like, what? So then I picked out this. It's going to be some sort of color work something. This colorway is the berries colorway. So yeah, I know that you don't appreciate my green and pink together, but I really love it. I didn't think that it read too Christmassy.
Yeah, and it's reading blue on the camera, blue and pink.
Okay, maybe more of a teal.
Yeah.
Stick. So yeah, super fun. So I got that. I'm like, a sweater for 3 times $19. Yeah. And then this 4-ply DK was $15.
Okay.
And again, a pretty good put up too. It's 80% superwash merino, 20% nylon, and 218 yards.
Okay.
So maybe a cowl, maybe some socks.
Yeah, I mean, if you want a little bit of a break.
No, I'm done. That was like, I was worried
Okay.
that wasn't going to fit into any of my carry-on or my checked bag. I got it to work. There was some smushing and some letting out of that extra compartment in my checked bag, but it was a lot of fun.
Yeah, so I guess I was living, on Instagram that weekend, just kind of watching what everybody was up to, and Nerd Bird Makery had a restock of her most popular bags.
Oh,
and I
cool.
don't have one of those, so I got the Nevertheless She Knitted bag with the little leather straps.
Oh, fun.
And what else? Oh, the Wool Witch. So Shelly Can did a partnership with a cross stitch company, and was releasing it this past weekend, along with some other stuff that she was doing for Woolen Folk. And so I got that kit for the cross stitch. So that was really fun. That shop has a lot of really cool things. So I'm going to be making myself a little Wool Witch, hoop. I think it's like 5 inches. So it shouldn't take me too long. I haven't cross stitched in a really long time, but I wanted to explore that. And then I think I bought yarn, but I can't remember if I did or not. Isn't that funny?
Well, you'll know if it shows up.
Yeah, I tried not to buy anything, but I think I did buy some yarn. And then after everything was done, apparently I was still like commiserating, or not, whatever. I was still kind of mopey about not going. So I bought myself a Hide and Peaks hat kit out of the Rambouillet that they sell at Farmer's Daughter's Fiber. And I'm really excited about that because I have not tried that base yet, and I love Rambouillet. Love spinning with it, love everything about Rambouillet. So I'm really excited to try that base. And they had a kit. I also will give them a shout out. Their shipping price was really reasonable. I was like, well, as long as it's under $5, and it was actually under $4. So I was like, sold.
Wow.
Yeah, that doesn't happen very much lately. I mean, I think most places.
So is that a build your own kit?
No, they had kits, two different color options. I went with the one that I believe is most likely in the pattern. Like, it reminded me a lot of the pictures that are in the pattern. But I think it had a gold in it, which I don't think is in the original. Anyway, I don't know. It's on its way to me. I'll find out when it gets here.
Yeah.
But yeah, those things kind of grabbed me. I knew that I wanted to try that base at some point, and this kit was like, oh yeah, I have that hat pattern. I need to just buy a kit for it. I think I'm going to end up being more of a kit person than I ever thought I would be, because I'm having decision fatigue, or analysis paralysis on stash stuff. Like, I tried to stir the stash while you guys were at Rhinebeck, and I really enjoyed it. It did help me kind of put into perspective how much beautiful yarn I already have. I hadn't looked at my fingering weight bins in a while. And when I reorganized it, I actually had like a good, like this many inches at the top of the bin. I was like, oh, like, didn't think they were that empty yet. So I was like, okay, great, cool. Like seeing that. And then I sorted it between semi-solids and crazy variegateds, so that I could try to pick out a 5 skein combo for like one of those big shawls. I did not get very far with that. A lot of my colors are pretty crazy. They don't really blend. Not that they have to in a West Knits per se, I saw that Hohi released a big giant shawl pattern recently. I don't know if it was 3 skeins or if it required more. It definitely had 3 colors, but I don't know if it was 3 skeins.
Yeah, I think I looked. I think it is 3 skeins.
Okay, so that might be easier for me to come up with 3 that go together. I know that I had some Marigold Gen that I bought at the same time that is pink and gold and like a really dark pink. So that might be a really good one to put together for a shawl like that. But yeah, just exploring stuff that I forgot I had. And
yeah, well, again, I don't know about you, but like I'm doing a lot less with the pandemic, and then also just like travel, and Rochester doesn't have an LYS anymore. I'm doing a lot less in person picking out of colors. And I think that with online, it's really hard, right? I mean, you can take screenshots and put them back, next to each other, but like light it and whatever it does. I mean, you kind of have the, like, this is going to look nice together confirmation when it's been kitted up.
Yes, exactly. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
There's also the, I don't know, just you buy a random skein because it's beautiful and then you love it, and then you're trying to marry it with things that came from like a year later or 2 years later, and you're like, this isn't, it's like the undertones have changed of the dye style, right? Like, or something is just not quite,
or your
gelling
preferences, or
yeah, same. But yeah,
Claire says 4 for Hohi's new shawl, 4 skeins.
So I need 2 that match.
Maybe there's one color that you have 2 of. Yeah. So
well, that's not the case, unfortunately. Because I have a kit that has 2 skeins of Emma's yarn and some.
I have 2 of this. Yeah.
Oh yeah. But no, it might be tough to come up with 2 of a solid in my stash right now.
Yeah. Yep. I bet you could probably mix. I don't know.
That's true. Just get creative.
Just get creative. Just do your own thing. Don't do what she tells you to do.
Well, and I know that I was a little dubious because it is so big, right? As she was wrapping it around herself in multiple ways, I was like, "Ooh, that's a lot of yarn." So I was like, "Oh, is that 3 or is that more?" But
got it. Sorry,
it's a lot of.
I thought I looked but it must be 3 colors, and you were like you were saying one is more. So yeah.
Well, yeah, that's a lot of words to say that I was jealous. I was also kind of under the weather. My daughter had a cold, like not COVID. We had it tested, but it kind of
seems to be going around. My boys had it for quite a bit there as well. But yeah, no, I felt, the outdoor spaces were fabulous. Had a fabulous house where somebody pre-bought groceries and pre-meal planned, so we weren't going out to restaurants, which led all of us to kind of be like, we haven't been spending that much time in a car. I think driving to restaurants and kind of, those little micro trips makes you feel like you've been in a car for a really long time. And we didn't have that because we were eating at the house, which was cost effective, travel effective, time effective. And yeah, more safe because we weren't seeing, taking our masks off around other people as we were eating. Yep. So really want to thank everybody that showed up for the meetup. That was the first time I've attempted that. And we got a good group. And then we had some people like the Sweater Sisters and Sober Stitcher that I need to be able to figure out how to took a picture and include them in. But then at the same time was I had this Sanderson sweater that I didn't bring with me, but Tristan, I was going to hold up a picture on my phone. And then Nikki and I ended up in the front row of the Illuminate group photo on Saturday because we were at the back, and then they were like, we need to take this from the other side of the hill. So then we flipped around and we were in the front.
So that was that the one that she put in her newsletter?
Yes.
Oh, well, I got to go back and look. I just
in the picture we are to the right, and we're both kind of trying to figure out whether or not we should be like
standing or kneeling,
or sitting or kneeling, or like we both look kind of crouched in the photo that they chose. But that was definitely the Rhinebeck sweater. I mean, she asserted that beforehand. But there was just so many of them, and so many different, like, some people didn't do the stripes, some people did the motif around the cuff, some people did a motif around the bottom, some of them were cropped, some of them were, it was just really interesting to see all of the
Mine's
different.
short sleeve.
Yeah, yours, there were some people with short sleeves.
No
Um,
stripes.
yeah, it was really funny. Again, I'm glad that she was being safe, because I know she's got young kids at home. And there was just, she was going to or take pictures with thousands of knitters, right? But she was masked and then had sunglasses on. And so I think there were people that they probably could have, that looked similar to her
Incognito.
in build and similar, whatever, that could have been taking pictures with people.
Funny.
Somebody in her entourage has a pretty similar haircut. I think that there were a couple of people that introduced themselves to her thinking that she was Andrea. But it's just like,
Easy
with the
mistake.
mask on and the glasses, it could be anybody behind there. But
Yeah, easy mistake. I don't blame anybody for that. That's an easy mistake. And I probably would have been right there with them with the incognito sunglasses.
Yeah, we were sweating for those sweaters on Saturday, though. That was one of the warmest Rhinebecks that I can remember. So, but everything was really spaced out. There was booths in between the booths. At a certain point, there were like, enter here, exit here. I think eventually people quit following the traffic, one way signs, but there were, Miss Bab's line was pretty long when we first got there.
I saw a picture of that. Yeah.
But overall, just fabulous. Thanks to everybody that came up and gave me a hug, and hoping that everybody had safe travels home and remains well. So fingers
absolutely
crossed for a little bit here.
And for everybody who was at home, I was right there with you.
Yep.
All right. Bye.
Bye, Uvta.